Hey guys, how's it going? This is Bubba Drip from Flavoring It Up Cooking Show, brought to you by MyFreedomSmokes. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple one flavor e-liquid with our do-it-yourself kit. Everything that you see here, we got PG, VG, syringes, flavor sample pack 1 and 2. I'm going to be making the blue raspberry cotton candy out of flavor sample pack number 1 today. Like I said, everything you see here comes in our do-it-yourself kit. First, for sanitation reasons, I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on. And I always recommend making e-liquid with gloves just because, I mean, if you're going to let your friends try it or you're going to let anyone try it and you're not just vaping it yourself, you want to make sure everything's absolutely sterile. Okay, so got flavor sample pack number 1. I have blue raspberry cotton candy, and you can go ahead and just drip your flavoring directly into the bottle if you would like. I always like to pop this little piece off and use a syringe just so I can be more accurate with my measurements. Because if you want the consistency of your liquid to stay, if you want your liquid to stay consistent, that's what I recommend. But first, before you want to do anything, I always recommend putting nicotine into the bottle first because you want it at the bottom, shakes up a little bit better, especially if you have a higher VG e-liquid that you're making. So I'll go ahead and pop this syringe right out. And I know that there's no nicotine shown on the table, but nicotine does come in the do-it-yourself kit as well. And the one thing about nicotine is you want to be very, very safe with it. Nicotine doesn't care about your plans for the future. It doesn't care about your feelings. It's here to do what it was made for. Oh, this is the one that I'm actually putting the liquid in. So if you use a syringe for nicotine, which is also something I recommend, make sure that that syringe is used only for the nicotine. And depending on your milligram, stuff like that is going to depend. Like if you want, like I'm going to be making a 3 milligram bottle because that's what I like. But if you want a little bit higher, then you can go ahead and use your ratios by the your ratios are going to depend on the milligram of your nicotine. I recommend also using an e-liquid calculator. It makes things a little bit easier. You can always write down your recipes, stuff like that. But today that is not what we're worried about. Okay, and for what I'm doing, that's about all I'm gonna need. Go ahead and cap that, set this to the side. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and go for the flavoring. And I'm gonna need another syringe. And with the flavoring, since if it's your first time or you're not used to this kind of flavoring, everyone knows that you can just kind of go ahead and mess around with it to find the ratio that you find good. I'm going to be putting probably about 2 millimeters of the blue raspberry cotton candy in this today because that's where I find it. It's a little light, not too strong, but still it's good. Okay, let me put the cap back on that since I got my flavoring now. Okay, now I'm gonna go with my PG and VG. This is the PG and VG that comes in it. I have 2 bottles set aside that are already filled with PG and VG, so I'm not gonna open these or touch these. I'm going to be making about a 30-70. I like a higher VG ratio. My liquid to be a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my PG in there. And you can also use a syringe for this. You can use the syringe that you're using for your flavoring if you use the syringe for your flavoring, but make sure you wash it out. Okay, and that looks about right. Go ahead and put the cap back on top of this. Okay, knock on my VG. VG a little bit thicker, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this cap off, and I'm gonna just top the bottle off with VG. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and fill that up. It's leaking a little bit, that's okay though. No nicotine to worry about, it's all at the bottom because I haven't shaken it up yet. So now I'm gonna go ahead and thoroughly shake this bottle. One way I always know, if you want to make sure that your e-liquid is thoroughly shaken and everything's settled, you can kind of tell because the VG is so thick that it almost looks like, I guess you could say, ice inside the bottle. You want to make sure that there's absolutely no lines in your e-liquid. And that's looking good. Okay. Like I said again, you know, today was short video, simple, to the point, just one flavor e-liquid. And that's it. And thank you for joining us today at the Flavoring It Up cooking show. Once again, I'm Bubba Drip, and this was brought to you by MyFreedomSmokes. So if you're looking into getting into e-liquid making, this is definitely where you should start.